One of the questions that people keep asking about the ICE raids is what's happening to the children? We've seen videos like this one.
Children in zip ties at immigration court in San Antonio today. So take a look. These are elementary school age children, maybe a teenager here, in zip ties while his mom is being bent over and arrested because they all went to court today.
So that was a couple of months ago in Texas, but just this past week in Beaverton, Oregon, we saw this.
Footies!
Where are you heading?
Daycare.
I'm sorry?
Daycare.
Okay. Where's daycare?
Just to Beaverton.
How far?
Beaverton, Oregon.
5 minutes. So there's a baby in the car.
I understand that.
And is it hard to wait for 3 minutes?
Hey, is your phone down?
Yeah.
She said to put the car.
Yeah, put your car here, but which one? Yeah.
Put the car over there.
Put the car over there. Yeah. Mommy's coming now.
Yeah.
Okay?
Now?
This poor dad trying to stay calm and comfort his child.
Yeah, hold on. I'm getting out. Well, you should have done it
I
already.
told you 3 times. I'm looking at your seatbelt. Step out
But
of the
you
car.
still understand.
Step out of the car.
Okay.
You're-
Because I'm Iranian.
Yes,
I'm Iranian.
I understand.
That's why they are doing this.
Again, that was this past week in Beaverton, Oregon. I will probably talk about it more in another video, but we see a child in the back seat, a small child, and ICE busting out the window to drag that kid's dad out and abduct him. What becomes of that child? What happens to that child? He had asked ICE to wait for the mother to arrive first before snatching him, and they couldn't wait 15 minutes. What happened to that kid? There are so many cases of this. There are interviews. If you go on Instagram, like, I know that Instagram is a hellscape and the algorithm doesn't work very well. There's so much footage from regular, ordinary people who are trying to document what ICE is doing in neighborhoods all around this country, the trauma they are inflicting. It's so important that we are documenting for the day of accountability that will come, and also so we can help these families now. There's so many interviews and so much footage of little kids who are left behind after their parent is snatched by ICE. They don't wait for social services. They don't call social services. They don't call friends and family. They just snatch the mom or the dad and they hightail it out of there. And over, we're seeing kids who've just been left. Kids who maybe somebody from ICE takes them, that child is an American citizen, and we don't know what happens to them. This regime consistently treats children as less than human, especially if those children are the American citizen children of immigrants. It's even worse for undocumented children. There is a crisis within a crisis. There is a human rights violation inside a human rights violation when it comes to unaccompanied minors in this country. Kids who are here undocumented and they don't have a parent with them. At least in these situations that I showed you before, it's hard to even say at least, little kids are being zip tied. Little children are being traumatized as they are watching windows of their car bashed in and their dad dragged off and handcuffed. We are watching an entire generation of kids being traumatized by the American Gestapo known as ICE. But it's even worse for kids who are unaccompanied because we don't know what's happening to them. We had from the Trump regime earlier this year the revocation of the rights of unaccompanied minors to have an attorney. Under the Biden administration, I'm not in any way defending the way that Biden or any other previous president has treated unaccompanied minors, undocumented children in this country. But those kids had a right to an attorney under Biden, and now they get nothing. They have no rights. They have no due process. They have no representation. They have nobody to advocate for them. Children are already the most powerless group in our society. They are the most vulnerable group in our entire society, and undocumented kids exponentially more so. They are at the intersection of being powerless children and victimized immigrants. These kids are disappearing. Our government doesn't know where they are or what has happened to them, and nobody is holding them accountable. So thank you to everybody who tagged me in this video I'm about to show you. This is from a subcommittee hearing this past week. because we've got to raise a ruckus. I know there's so many things that we have to bear witness to right now. There's so many things that we have to care about, that we have to continue to make sure that we inform people about. But this is definitely one of them. One of the basic tenets of defending democracy against an authoritarian regime is protect the most vulnerable. Right now in the United States of America, immigrant children are the most vulnerable. I'm not playing oppression Olympics. I am not in any way minimizing the harm that is being done to other folks by this regime. But these children deserve to be defended and protected. They have nobody to advocate for them. They have no power whatsoever. More of us need to be speaking out for them and advocating for them. So please watch from the subcommittee hearing this past week.
Among the most vulnerable populations DHS encounters are unaccompanied alien children, referred to as UACs. A UAC is a person as to when they entered the country and were encountered by DHS. They have no lawful immigration status in the United States. They have not attained 18 years of age and has no parent or legal guardian in the country available to provide care and physical custody. Each year, thousands of UACs have entered the United States and are placed into federal custody. Federal government has a responsibility not just for enforcing immigration laws, but for ensuring the safety and welfare of these at-risk children. While ICE's immigration enforcement priorities typically weigh the risk an alien poses to the public, but with UACs, the agency must also ensure a vulnerable child does not become the victim of trafficking or otherwise exploitation. Our audit revealed significant gaps in how ICE monitors and manages the cases of UACs once they're released from federal custody. The lack of reliable location data, persistent delays in issuing notices to appear, and limited interagency cooperation has led to potentially tens of thousands of children effectively disappearing from DHS's oversight. This is not simply an administrative or paperwork shortcoming. It's a systemic breakdown that carries real risk to the children themselves, to the integrity of the immigration system, and to the public trust in our immigration system and law enforcement institutions. In 2023, my office initiated this audit after two key events. The first was a change in a 2021 Memorandum of Agreement between DHS and the Department of Health and Human Services. Specifically, the parties removed the requirement for HHS Office of Refugee Resettlement to provide ICE with biographic and biometric information and all potential sponsors and adult members of that household, which were then used for vetting. The second was significant media reporting involving UACs, which were potentially in dangerous conditions following their placement into a sponsor's care by HHS. Early into the audit, it became clear that the uncertainty surrounding the whereabouts of such a large number of UACs warranted a management alert to flag this matter for the Department of Homeland Security as well as Congress, and we issued that in August 2024. In our final report, which was published in March of this year, my team found that between fiscal years 2019 and 23, ICE did not effectively monitor the location and status of all UACs once released or transferred to HHS custody. In that time, ICE transferred more than 448,000 UACs to HHS, most of whom were released to sponsors. Of that population, ICE did not issue more than 233,000 notices to appear to the UACs to generate an assignment in their immigration court. Our auditors discovered that more than 31,000 releases, addresses of sponsors were blank, undeliverable, or missing apartment numbers. We also learned more than 43,000 UACs who were served with notices to appear failed to actually appear for their scheduled court date. As I stated at the beginning of my testimony, ICE's posture for monitoring UACs was insufficient. The shortcomings leave children vulnerable to exploitation, trafficking, forced labor, or involvement in criminal activities.
And that was under Donald Trump's first term, Joe Biden, and it is escalating dramatically now. Tens of thousands of children are missing. We now see a regime that has no interest in audits, no interest in accountability. Where are these children?